Hi, this is Darshan Patel. Today I'll be presenting about what are the main things that someone should consider when reporting to manager. So I have got some of the points that I have listed down that someone should consider. The first one is strategic goals and objectives. I would start creating the report with the end in mind. I would think about the reasons I need it, the key drivers of my business, my definition of my success, and other data analysis questions. The second thing is the right KPIs. The KPIs I would include in my reports depend on my audience. I would think about the data driven questions the reader of the report would want to be answered. The third thing I have considered is customer feedback. That is the most important thing. I would take this into consideration when making report, as customer feedback will help me see what I am doing right or wrong. A visual balance report format would be present the most important KPIs in a concise way so that decision makers can get the information without confusing. Uh, we should keep on improving the report. I would test my reports regularly and make the necessary changes to ensure there are no inefficient or redundant data. The second question: what are the techniques would I use to collect and assess information in terms of worth and relevance to the report? So the techniques I would use to collect and assess information for the project are as below. The first one is close-ended surveys and online quizzes. So close-ended surveys and online quizzes are based on questions that give respondent predefined answer option to opt for. There are two main types of close-ended surveys: those based on categorical and those based on interval or ratio questions. The second thing is open-ended surveys and questionnaires. Opposite to close-ended are open-ended surveys and questionnaire. The main difference between those two is the fact that close-ended surveys offer predefined answer options the respondent must choose from, whereas open-ended surveys allow the respondent must more freedom and flexibility when providing their answer. One-on-one interviews is the third thing. One-on-one interviews are one of the most common types of data collection method in qualitative research. Here, the interviewer collects the data directly from the interviewee. Due to it being a very personal approach, this data collection technique is perfect when you need to gather highly personalized data. Focus group is the another important method to collect the information. The focus group data collection method is essentially an interview method, but instead of being done one on one, here we have a group discussion. Whenever the resources for one-on-one interviews are limited, or you need to recreate a particular social situation in order to gather data on people's attitude and behavior, focus groups can come in very handy. Direct observation is the another thing to collect data. Direct observation is one of the most passive qualitative data collection method. Here, the data collector takes particularly participatory stance, observing the setting and the which subject of their observation are while taking down notes, video, audio recordings, photos, and so on. The third question is definition of reliability and validity. So data reliability means overall consistency of the measure. That means consistency achieved by using same methods under same circumstances. Data validity means overall accuracy of the measures. So the reliability and validity of the results depends on creating proper research design, selecting appropriate method and sample to research, and by actively conducting the research. So some of the questions that someone should need to consider when collecting information. To collect information from somewhere, one should consider five types of question, and those are why, what, when, who, where, and how. All the question help us to identifying the problems within there and helps us to tackle them as well. So one should be aware about the required information, and there will be limit in data collection. For instance, one should always take care about the required information so that it will not create mess with the too much information, and it is always better to confirm all our information or discussion with the supervisor or person at higher position to make sure that we are on the right track. Using information for the best result, what would you consider when collecting and giving information an individual and group in it or organization? If I need to get the information from individuals and group in organization, I'll try using emotional intelligence, and I would try focusing on views given by individuals and groups in organization. To interact with them, we should have effective communication and clear purpose of getting information. So this is another point which I will keep in mind before going to any organization to get information regarding anything. We should build a good relationship within people around there. As an example given by the lecturer, human resource professionals consider the people but not so much on the budget. Similarly, accountants consider the budget but not so much the people. Therefore, we have to speak the language they are comfortable with to get information, and that proper communication clears our all the doubts and helps us to understand their roles and responsibility. So, someone, if I when would I gain feedback about my research report? So for the research report of my project, I'll ask for feedback in real time. If I want some insight into how I did on particular task or how I might improve on the next project, it is best to ask sooner rather than later. I also do not have to schedule time in advance or make a formal approach. I must reach out to my boss, colleagues, or clients and have a very quick and informal coaching exchange. I would never ask, "Do you have any feedback for me?" as I know the answer will be always no and will learn nothing. So instead, I'll choose to ask what are the things I could improve in my research report. Uh, Here, there are some of the concern about providing recommendation at the end of the report. So the recommendation section of my report is important because it calls people to action based on the evidence that has been gathered and analyzed in the report. It needs to be actionable, specific, and makes sense as a solution to the problems detailed in the report. Some of readers will skip the report and turn directly to the recommendation section, which represent the essence of the report's work. So you need to take special care with clarity and correctness. Put a recommendation in a numbered or bulleted list format. If action is imperative, list them in order of priority so that decision makers know which items need attention first. If recommendations are of equal importance, list them in the same order that they occurred in the body of the report. Thank you so much.